All right, next phase. We, in this section here, learned about Jim Crow and how Blacks were discriminated against after the release from emancipation, after they had been enslaved peoples and they were freed, but then they didn't really get the freedom that freedom might mean. They were still under discrimination and separated in a time period called Jim Crow. So then we learned about some movements in 1963 that helped protect the rights of voters. We learned about the sit-ins and the freedom riders. So what we're continuing to learn about right now are the people and movements that protected and fought for voting, you guys know this one, rights. The sit-ins were a movement, the freedom riders were a movement, and there's some people that you know about already. First of all, one of the big movements or events was called the March on Washington. I'm going to move this so you can see me. Why not? March on Washington. You may know a little bit about this already. This is where the famous speech was made by Martin Luther King. Where he said, "I have a dream." And he was standing and talking in front of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people who had marched or walked, much like you see a lot of the marching happening today. They had walked a long, long pathway with their feet. A lot of different people, men, women, blacks and white, all marched to the Capitol, the United States, and delivered a speech. And this was largely based on having civil rights and also the right to vote. This was in 1963. This march and all the marching that they did brought about the very important vote and act called the 1964 Civil Rights Act. And it really said that this discrimination, this lack of rights, that Jim Crow era, the time period of Jim Crow when they had no rights, this act, the 1964 Civil Rights Act, said you cannot discriminate. No discrimination. You can't discriminate based on race. Say with me, race. Oops. Say with me, race. Read with me, race. Race. I didn't say it with you. Say with me, race. Race. Read with me, race. Race. Religion. Say with me, religion. Religion. Read with me, religion. Religion. National origin. Say with me, national origin. National origin. Show you my mouth. National origin, origin, So you could not discriminate against people or on their sex, whether they were male or female. Okay? And in nowadays, this is defined by transgender, LGBTQ, and other definitions of sex. Okay. So, 1964, the Civil Rights Act was passed. But, guys, what happened, as you might know, is the states did not like it. The states were angry. When I say the states, I'm talking about the United States of America. So they said no. Because if they had all these rights, they also could express their opinion and they could vote, right? So the states, because the states were angry, so I like to put angry eyes on top of the states here. They wanted to limit the voice of Black people. So they started to enact some laws to control them again. Remember, the way they have freedom and their rights is to vote. So they thought, let's make it hard for them to vote. So what they did is they enacted some barriers.